Hey there, real quick before we begin, you're about to watch a live stream, which means you're really kind of behind the scenes here because these lessons are usually watched in the archives, but you're here for the live taping of them. So if we mess up really bad, we're probably going to chop that out, but you're going to get to see all of our bloopers and mistakes. We'll also chop this off, so no one is going to see this part of the lesson but you. And because you're behind the scenes, you're probably going to ignore my instructions when I say, like, pause the video and go practice or whatever. You can if you want. It's just that everyone in the chat room then will be in different places in the video. That's fine. When you want to join us live again, go down to the bottom of the video, click on the live button, and that should take you straight to where we actually are now. So now here comes the part for everybody else. I'm really glad you're with us. The archives are fine, but my favorite is talking to you live. So see you in the chat room. Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock here, the lesson is about to begin. If this is your first time playing piano, welcome. I'm very excited for you. You're going to do great. Hopefully you already received from us the welcome packet in the mail, and maybe you even got started on the Absolute Beginners video pack to teach you the names of the notes and things like that. But if not, that's fine. You'll do great. I'll show you how to play all the notes. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. You can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. And even if you only learn a little bit of this song and you don't learn the whole thing, you'll still learn enough to help you build skills so you can learn other songs faster in the future. So jump in, give it a try. You're bound to end up at least a little bit better than you even are right now. Throughout the lesson, I may refer to Clopple Academy, and you can check out that link on the website if you want. Basically, it's a program that takes you all the way from like learning the names of the notes, the very beginning, through 12 levels of classical and jazz music, through all the skills that you would need to become a professional pianist. So you would learn all the same stuff that you would learn if you're taking regular traditional piano lessons, probably plus a little bit more, but it takes about 5 to 10 years to complete. So you can just try out the first level, see if it's the kind of thing that you like, or if you just care about today's lesson and learning this song, then just ignore all those references and focus on today's lesson. If you're watching this at learnpianolive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The MP3 is a play-along track that you can use to practice more after the lesson, but a lot of students like to print out the PDF right now so they have it during the lesson. Careful, it could be up to like 30 pages, so just find the couple pages that you want and print those out. If you decide not to, that's fine. I'll show you all of the notes on screen as we go through it. And we will be going through 5 different levels of this song that all use the same play-along track. So even if you've never played piano before, you'll still be able to do level 1. And then as we go through level 2, 3, 4, and 5, then when we use that same play-along track, you just keep playing your same version. If you're watching this lesson in the archives and you have a question during the lesson, then feel free to click on that survey button. And at the end of the survey, there's a place for you to ask your question, and I will do my best to get back to you with the answer to that question. But if you're with us live as we're recording this today, then feel free to click on that chat button, and you can talk with all the other students who are logged in during the live lesson. And if you have a question about the lesson, then you can just go ahead and type that into the box that says, Ask Jamin a Question, and we will do our best to answer that question live in the lesson. All right, I think that's the end of the boring stuff. I'm ready to learn a song. Stay tuned at the end of the lesson and I'll show you how to win more points and earn more prizes next week. But for right now, let's get this party started. Hey, welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin. Today we're working on a song called Frog Went A-Courtin', and this is the chat moderator, the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what? Not much has happened since yesterday.
Yes.
But I'm reading this book series called Shadowhunters, and I'm on like book number 13, and it's really good.
Out of how many? That's a
I don't know.
long series.
There's like 17 or 18 out so far, but they're all in like a really weird order.
Someone's making some money. My goodness. 17 books in it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Once you start, you have to keep going.
Is it the same character all the way through the whole thing?
No, they're different characters. There's like different segments.
So the book series is more like a world that you live in, and then
like
you just follow
the
different
Chronicles, and then like
Is that what Chronicles means?
I don't know. I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Cool. Well, Kloppel's here, and he's never very happy when we don't move very quickly. So I know, Kloppel, we'll get to it. Good to see you. Our first note here is a C. So in order to find a C, all you got to do is take any group of 2 black notes, like those right there, and take the lower one, the one that's kind of on the left, and drag it down a little bit, and you'll land on a C every single time. It works on any group of 2. So even this group of 2 black notes up here, the only thing that doesn't work on is a group of 3. So if you like pick that group of 3, you can't like take that note and drag it down and land on a C. That's not gonna work. So any group of 2 black notes, take the bottom note and drag it down just a little bit, and you land on a C every time. It's just to the left of a group of 2. And we've got 5 of those in a row, and it'll really help if you say the words as you go. So we're gonna play 5 of those and say, Frog went a-courtin'. The next note that we need is going to be an E, so that's not the next note over, but the one after that. So get that E ready, because as soon as you play Frog went a-courtin', then you got to jump right to the E, and then just go down 1 note, and then down 1 note, and that's already on the C. So if we just try that much, those words would be Frog went a-courtin', and he did. Cool. So if we tried that with the track, it would sound something like this. And 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Frog went a-courtin', and he did. So it's kind of fast-ish. Actually, that's the slowed down version. So the fast version is even faster than that. But with some practice, you'll be able to get that. Let's try that one more time. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, and Frog went a-courtin', and he did. Yeah, so the next note that you're gonna need is not the next note over. I wish it was. I wish we could just like go straight down, but we gotta skip over a note after the C. That's why it goes from a C to an A. We're skipping over the B. Don't play the B. So, and he did skip over the B down to the A, and then the next one over is a G. I know it sounds weird that a G and an A would be right next to each other, but on the piano, the G and the A are right next to each other. So we're gonna play that one, and then go down one more. We land on a G, and then back to the original, the C, and that's huh. And then one more time, we're gonna play the G and the C. So you kind of repeat that thing right there. That G and C happens twice. Uh-huh, uh-huh. So all of that together is something like this with the track. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, ready, go. Frog went A-Courtin and he did ride. And a G, C again. Yeah, cool. Now, we're gonna use pretty much the same like pattern, rhythmic pattern and stuff, but we're gonna start on this G right here. So we were using this G down here. We're gonna go up to this G. A couple different ways you could get to that. You could go back to that C and just count the letters up. So like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Or if you just take the group of 3 black notes, take the middle note and drag it down, you land on a G every single time. So if that's the way I would do it, I just find a G by like looking at this group of 3 and going, okay, that one's gotta be the G. So we're gonna play a bunch of those. Frog went A-Courtin and we're gonna go one note over, because remember A is right next to G. So this one right here, that goes up to an A, back to G, skip over the F, down to the E, and then G, G. And this is kind of the same thing that we had before, like when we went, we're gonna do the same thing, but up here on the higher version, So that's that one right there. So it's really important that everyone is pausing the video wherever they need to and practicing the section, so when we come back and play it all together, everyone can play their own version. You don't have to be able to play the whole thing. Maybe you're just working on getting that first little section right there. That's perfectly fine. Piano takes a lot of practice. So whatever version you're working on, then do that one. Let's try it all together with the track, the first 2 lines. 2 and a 1, 2, ready, go. Frog went A-Courtin and he did ride. Then all the way up to that G. Frog went A-Courtin and he did ride. And now here's the D to the G. Last line. This is actually probably the most fun part to sing. We get to do the exact same thing that we did right here up through ride. So if you can already do the second line, cool, you're in luck. We're just gonna repeat all of that. Frog went A-Courtin and he did ride. Now this is where things change. We're gonna go down to a C for a sword and pistol. So all of that right there, these 4 notes, that's kind of tricky. E, D, C, A. The good news is once you get it down, you get to do the exact same thing one more time, because E, D, C, A happens again right there. So that section, kind of tricky, but we get to repeat it once you know it. And then we're down to our last couple notes here. And don't worry if you can't play all these notes yet, or you're confused, or I'm way ahead of you, that's fine. You can always just pause the video and practice your section. I'm gonna play the last 5 notes here. We're gonna play C, and then E, and then down to D, all the way down to the A that we played before, that one right there, and up to C. So the end is usually the trickiest part of the song, and that's true for this song as well. So if you could only do the first couple of parts, then... Okay, Clapple says this needs to be our last time through. This will be our last time through. I'm gonna play all of the notes, but of course, you need to pause the video and practice so you can play whatever the section is that you're working on when we play it all together. If you can't play all the notes, that's fine. Play the ones you can. Don't worry about the rest. Let's go. 2 and a 1, 2, ready, go. Frog went A-Courtin and he did ride. All the way up to the G. Frog went A-Courtin and he did ride. Still on that G. Frog went A-Courtin and he did ride. A sword and pistol by his side. All right, so So that is all of the notes. We'll practice that more on the other levels too. So if you're still struggling on some of those notes, that's perfectly fine. But Kendra, tell us about our weekly activity.
This week is the finger puppets, and you can just cut out the finger puppets of Kloppel and his friends and tag Learn Piano Live when you post a picture on Facebook or Instagram for 150 bonus points from our favorite penguin mascot, Kloppel.
All right, that really doesn't have anything to do with music, but you can go to the Student Zone and download those, and they're kind of fun to play with. Well, it's time for our feature of the day. And today, once again, we're playing Deck the Old Man. Okay, so it's not that game. Don't play that game. Be nice to the old men in your life. However, we are going to play a game where we've got two songs you need to know. One is Deck the Halls, which sounds like this. And the other one is this. This Old Man. So those are the two songs you got to have in your head. I'm going to play two notes, and you're going to tell me, am I playing the beginning of Deck the Halls? Or am I playing the beginning of This Old Man? By the way, if you're in Kloppel Academy, then the name of these two things are a major second and a minor third. So the major second is the Deck the Halls, and a minor third is the thing that's This Old Man. So you got to hear the difference between the major second and the minor third. And Kendra, if you want to pop in for this one, you can play along too. Try to beat Kendra if you can at home, because she's really, really good at this stuff. So if you don't get it quite right, that's perfectly fine. But we're just going to try. Here's our first one. Kendra, what do you think this is? Does that sound like the beginning of Deck the Halls or This Old Man? It's only two notes. This is tough. One more time. Guessing at home. What do you think, Kendra?
I think it's Deck the Halls.
It is.
You made
Deck
me
the
really
Halls.
nervous.
Nice job. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. Here's one that's really, really low. This one's going to sound super weird. What do you think this is? Ooh. Can you sing Deck the Halls with that, or This Old Man? One more time. What do you think?
This Old Man?
This old man. Yeah, it kind of sounds like an old man, huh? Yeah. So that was a minor third. Good job. We'll do one more of these. This one's going to be super, super high. What do you think this one is right here? Deck the Halls or This Old Man? It's so high. It kind of sounds Christmassy. Almost makes you think it should be Deck the Halls. Maybe it is. Is that the Christmas one, or is that the minor third?
I don't think it's the Christmas one. I think you're trying to trick us.
This Old Man.
Yeah.
It is. Yes, that was This Old Man. So that was a minor third.
Though.
Yes. Wow. Yes, it's like an old Santa. Anyway, so hopefully you got one or two of those. If not, that's fine. Join us for our weekly activity, or our weekly, what is that called? The feature of the day.
Yeah.
Next lesson, which is like in a couple days. But for right now, it's time to do a little bit of mailbag.
If you'd like to win an extra 750 points by being the mailbag winner, just fill out the survey at the end of the lesson, or send us a message anytime during the week using the contact button at the top of the page.
And this week it's from Jay Garabine, who says, Dear Jamin, how old is Kloppel? Kloppel's actually about to have his 5th birthday this summer. So, yeah, it's an exciting time for him. He's just 5. I don't know what that is in penguin years, though. So, but he plays much better than a 5-year-old. So, but he's been, practicing really, really hard, except he's really, really impatient. He should practice probably a little bit harder, but don't tell him I said that. Anyway, it's time for some other secrets. We call this secret information.
Secret information.
Okay, and we have some secrets today in our top secret folder. And our secrets for today are... this song. This is a secret because we don't even really learn this, even in level 4 or 5. Okay, so this song is almost like a blues. So we've talked about blues forms before, how they use the 1 and the 4 and the 5 chord, and it's like a predictable pattern. It's got a lot of like 1s and 5s at the end, and so this one almost has that same feel. Actually, if you could, Kendra, give me the screenshot for the level 5 thing. You can see on level 5, yeah, there we go. That's great. So then over here you can see on level 5, we actually get to do like the 1 chord right there, and then it switches to the 5 and right back to the 1. At the end, we've got the 4 and the 5 to the 1. It moves really fast there. So when we see that thing where like it's got the really fast movement at the end, but at the beginning it's mostly on 1, except it goes to something else. That's pretty much a blues pattern. So this is kind of like a special blues pattern. The next thing is this song. Okay, so this is like a double secret information, because this secret information has to do with last night's secret information, which was about rhythmic motifs. And once again, we have a rhythmic motif in this one. So if we take a look at level 2, don't tell the level 2 people that we looked at their music ahead of time. But when we look at it, it goes quarter, eighth, 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 quarter, 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 dotted, half, quarter. So that whole thing right there, that's our rhythmic motif. It's ba 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 da ba da ba 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 da ba da ba ba ba. No matter what notes you played, if you played it with that pattern, ba 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 da ba da ba ba ba, that would pretty much sound like the song. So even if you don't get the right notes on this thing, you can kind of cheat by just making sure you get the right rhythm. Even if you don't have ba da ba da ba 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 ba, even if you have ba 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 da ba 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 ba, or ba 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 da ba da ba 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 ba, that all kind of sounds like the song because it uses the same rhythmic motif. So the rhythms are going to be more important than the notes. But don't tell the level 2 people that. Also, don't tell them if they're not the ones who won the raffle and you are. Let's find out. Congratulations, tell us what prize it is that you want if you were the winner, and let's go to level 2.
Transitioning to level 2. This may be confusing to level 1 students, so please continue to practice the level 1 version, or visit learnpianolive.com/level 2 for a detailed explanation on how to level up.
So level 2 is the exact same notes as level 1, so if you're on level 1, that's perfectly fine. Keep practicing your thing, and we're just going to play right along with you. We do need to pay attention here to this one right here. This has a dot on it, which is kind of weird. If you're in Clapple Academy level 2 or higher, you're already dealing with half notes, which is the hollow ones that have the stem, so they're not filled in like these quarter notes are. But this dot is kind of weird. It's going to add in basically an extra beat. So usually a half note would be counted 1, 2, and then this would be 3. But in this case, that dot adds 1 extra beat, so there's going to be beat 3 right here, and then that makes this one beat 4. So when you get to that, if you're counting out loud, which you should, then that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Other than that, it's not too terrible. Of course, as always, the ones that have the bars are faster than the ones that don't have the bars. So those are called eighth notes. The fast ones are eighth notes. The slower ones are called quarter notes. And I think the rest of it is stuff that you already know, especially if you're already in Clapple Academy level 1. You're dealing with a lot of these notes. So I think it's time for everyone to pause the video, practice the sections that you need, and when you come back, we're all going to play this all together. Here we go with the track. Play the notes that you can. Don't worry about the rest. 3, 4. From when the chord and E, ding, right, From when the chord and And that last line is just really super tricky. Even though we have this repeating pattern right here, the E to the A, it happens twice. Even this section right in here, like that just jumps around. That's a really weird movement there. So if that's tricky for you, don't worry about it. It's probably tricky for everybody. Let's try this again with the track. And a 2, and a 1, 2, ready, go. Frog went according and he did right. Frog went according and he did right. That's pretty much all we would have with just the right hand, so that means it's time to add in a little bit of left hand, and we call that level 3. Let's go there now.
Transitioning to level 3. This may be confusing to level 1 and 2 students. Please continue to practice your own level, or visit learnpianolive.com/level3 to understand how this level works.
So there's only 3 notes in this entire thing in the left hand. It's going to be a C, and then a G, and then an F later on. So all you're going to do is line those up with the notes that they are lined up with. Actually, so you're going to make sure that on that C right there, you're playing that with the frog right there, and then we're going to play this G in the left hand while your right hand is playing that note right there, that huh. So the way that would sound is, frog went a-courtin and he did right, and I'm just hanging on to the C, and still the C, frog went a-courtin and he did right, and then this is time for this one right here, and then the other ones you can line up are the C with that one right there, and then F with sword, and then down here moves pretty quickly. We got a and then a and then a Let's try that with the track. Of course, make sure you're pausing the video and practicing wherever you need to, and then everyone just playing your version right along with us. Play all the notes you can. Don't worry about the rest. And a 2, and a 1, 2, ready, go. So just 3 notes, even though you actually end up playing, what is that? You end up playing like too slow. Okay, fine. We'll go one more time. I think he's just jealous that we're singing about a different animal. So you're going to play 7 times, even though there's only 3 of them. It's just a C and an F and a G. We end up playing 7 times. So the beginning part is really super easy on the left hand because you only get to have that one note, but towards the end, there's a lot of them. So it's going to get trickier towards the end for everybody, I guess. Let's try it. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, ready, go. There's that G. Last 2 lines. Frog went a-courtin and he did right, sword and by his side. And Clavel says we're going too slow, so I think it's time for us to go ahead and leap over the level 4 stuff and go straight to level 5 and see if we can change this whole thing into numbers. Let's go.
Transitioning to level 5. This may be terrifying to lower levels. Please continue to practice your own level or visit learnpianolive.com/level5 for training on how to survive this level.
So here we go. On level 5, everything has become numbers. So before, we were calling this a C, and we were counting like C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. But now we're going to call this a number 1, and it's going to look something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So we're going to play these numbers, these yellow right-hand numbers. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 1. And then the left hand is going to play build play these, of course, anywhere you want. You can play it up here. 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 1. And then if you want to, also you can add in the chords in the left hand. And probably you want to go to learnpianolive.com/level5 for more details on how to add in the whole chord. But basically, you're going to put your pinky on whatever number is listed, and then just skip a note and play 3 notes. And note, skip a note, skip a note. And that's the one chord, because we started on the 1 and we played a chord. So that's kind of how that's going to work. I'm going to try to call out these numbers as we go, but make sure that you are pausing and practicing the video so that when we play the track, you can play your version along with us. That's how we practice. Play all the notes if you can. Don't worry about the rest. Let's go. 2 and a 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 6, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 3, 5, 5, 2, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 6, 3, 2, 1, 6, 1, 3, 2, 6, 1. And that's how we would do it in numbers, so eventually you can play that in any key that you want. The recommended key for us this week is the key of D, but if you've been to many of these level 5 things, you already know how all of that works. So I think, unfortunately, it's already time for us to say goodbye. Make sure that you are sending us your videos, though. I want to hear you playing this song along with the track, and then you can, of course, pick up lots of extra points by doing that. And thank you, Kendra, for moderating the chat room, running all the cameras. Thank you, Labo, for being here. We love you, even though you're super duper impatient. He's only 5. Give him a break, I guess, right? Love you. Bye. Hey, great, you're still here, so you must want more. Well, I've got 4 things for you: archives, practice tips, points, and jokes. First of all, if you didn't like this week's song, I'm sorry, and you can always go to learnpianolive.com/next song and vote for what our next song should be. And right now you can go to the kids lesson archives and just pick a different song and work on that this week. Now you probably don't have the whole song down yet, so what you can do is, this helps a lot of people, just next time pretend that you're the in-studio student and that in level 3 and level 5 we're going to be checking in with you, and you've got to play at least some of the songs. I find that my students that come in and they're the in-studio students, they actually learn the songs way faster than they learn their regular songs I give them in their regular lessons. So if you just pretend that you're the in-studio student and that someone's going to be watching you, then that might help a lot. Also, you have the practice log that you can send in for extra points, and that can help you practice. And there's the daily challenge where you get extra points for logging your practice time there as well. Just click on daily challenge and it will play a video that doesn't have any sound really. You just practice, and then every now and then you'll hear a sound like this.
The number 7.
And then once you collect all of the letters and numbers, then you just put them in and you submit that, and you get points for doing that, and you get better because in between all those letters and numbers, you're practicing your song from the week. Of course, once you know the song, then definitely record yourself on your mom's cell phone or on your tablet or on whatever, and use the video submission button, and so you can send us your video that way and get points for that as well. You might even become the featured video for the week. All right, so let's move on to points. Here's the different ways you can get points. You can get up to 50 points just for participating in the chat in the live lesson. You get 300 points on top of that if you are the person in the chat room that week who makes the most helpful comments during the chat. That daily music challenge thing that I told you about, every day when you click on that and you submit the secret code, 150 points just for doing that. Every song comes with a practice log, and if you fill that out and have your parents sign it and you send that in, that's worth 300 points right there. Each week on Facebook and in the email that we send you, we give you a new weekly activity. It's just a fun little maze or puzzle or something to do. It doesn't really have much to do with music, but it does have something to do with that week's song, and it has something to do with getting you 150 points. Then if you click on survey at the end of the lesson and you fill that out and give us some feedback about the song, then we've given out up to 500 points before for great comments and feedback in the survey. Of course, submit your videos of you playing. Almost every video that gets submitted earns at least 200 points, even if it's not perfect. I guess work on it a little bit, but I'm just saying it doesn't have to be perfect. Here's another one. Every single month at learnpianolive.com/contest, we have a contest and usually give out at least 400 points, and oftentimes there are other gift cards and other prizes included in that contest. Okay, now we're getting into some big numbers. If you ever go to a concert that is classical music or it's classic jazz, which means like swing and bebop and stuff like that, you can ask your parents if it's a classic jazz concert. Then you get 500 points just by having your parents let us know what concert you attended. Now I keep asking you to send us your videos, and almost always you get points right up front for submitting those videos. Don't forget to put the legal disclaimer on your video. You have to say at the beginning, this is for use at kidslearnpianolive.com. But here's an additional way to pick up 750 points. If later on, a month down the road, a year down the road, 5 years down the road, if one of the videos that you submit to us ever gets 1,000 views, send us the link to your video. We will give you 750 points. Okay, but is there anything that I could do that's worth thousands of points? Yes, there is. If you're in Clopple Academy, every time you go from level 1 to level 2, or level 2 to level 3, every single time you level up, you get 3,000 points. And that's not even the biggest one. You get 5,000 points every single time someone signs up for kidslearnpianolive.com and they say that you are the one who sent it here. Okay, last thing before I say goodbye. For real, I told you that I would tell you my favorite joke, and here it is. A butcher backs up into his meat grinder and gets a little behind in his work. Gets a little behind in his work because he's a butcher. It's funny, trust me, it's awesome. If you didn't think it was funny, that's fine. But go to learnpianolive.com/jokes and you can see some of our students' favorite jokes and you can submit your own. I think that's finally it. I will see you in another live lesson. Love ya. Good luck. Have fun.